2 hours down the road from the biggest party of the summer, Chelsea will take on Manchester City in a preview for the season premiere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Chelsea Countdown for our penultimate game of pre-season versus champions Manchester City. This is only the second episode of the Chelsea Countdown, so if you're new here, let me give you a quick preview of what to expect. I am going to go through my lineup for this game, my score prediction, as well as my expectations for individual players, so we can get a rough idea of what this game should look like. So without further ado, let's begin the countdown with the lineup. Starting in goal, we have newly acquired Chelsea shot stopper Philip Jorgensen. Now, obviously, we have only seen 45 minutes at Philip Jorgensen, which was his cameo appearance off the bench in the second half against Club America midweek. So we do not know exactly what his skill set is quite yet and how good he truly is as a goalkeeper. But this is the perfect game to find out. If there were ever a game to prove yourself to be a top-class goalkeeper against Manchester City, there are very few better places to do so. Robert Sanchez has not had the greatest start to pre-season. He did, granted he did okay in the Club America game. I think he did okay. He did reasonably well in the Wrexham game. The Celtic game was a bit of a bad miss for him. But the main point with Robert Sanchez is, as we know, his distribution is massively questionable at times. Philip Jorgensen has been brought in as a ball-playing goalkeeper. We saw even in just that one moment in the Club America game when he launched that ball up for Madueke and Broja to chase, we saw his distribution capabilities. Now, if he can consistently do that to a consistent level and consistent degree, he will easily take this number one spot from Sanchez. Now, it isn't just his distribution that needs measuring, it is also his shot stopping that needs measuring. As we know, Sanchez is a relatively good shot stopper, as is Georgia Petrovic for that matter, so it will take a lot of good quality goalkeeping for Jorgensen to be able to prize that number one spot away from Sanchez. So with that in mind, Jorgensen must be in line for a very, very strong performance, and massively helped out by playing behind a defence which I believe will be made up of Reece James, Tosin Adarabioyo, Levi Colwill and Malo Gusto. We saw by far our best performance in pre-season with Malo Gusto as an inverted left back. Both things which Malo Gusto is not. He is not traditionally able to invert. It is not his natural motion, and he is not a left back. He is obviously a right back by trade. Now that leads me to two conclusions. One, Gusto has learned very quickly how to invert, and he is very clearly getting this. And two, if we continue with this idea, it is very much going to be the left back who inverts, which obviously, as we know, is a very good idea for us because we have arguably the best left back on the planet right now in Marc Cucurella, waiting for us back in the UK when we eventually return. So that is obviously going to be a massive boost for us when we return. As we know, towards the end of Poch's tenure, Marc Cucurella did very well as the inverted left back, so that is a very good thing to see. Tosin Adarabioyo obviously has done very well since he signed. It has been a very, very good replacement for Thiago Silva because you see his leadership, you see the way he commands the box that he is defending, you see the way that he dictates play with the defenders around him, whether it's been Levi Colwill and Badia Shiel, or whether it's been Reece James, even the captain, as well as the likes, I think, Renato Vega as well, Wesley Fofana, of course. Tosin has been a really good player for us so far, and we've not really yet to see, I don't think, the peak of his powers. He's not really had to use any of his aerial prowess or his pace because of where he's been played and the teams we've been playing. So I think we possibly will get to see that in this, because obviously, as we know, Man City, if they play their full strength team, it's a very physical side. They're a bunch of big lads, and obviously they're very quick as well. So Tosin will be tested quite a lot by that. As well as that, Levi Colwill obviously missed the last game due to a minor injury that he picked up. I believe he is going to be back for this game. Levi Colwill, in my opinion, is possibly the most important defender to Maresca's system. He is a ball-playing goalkeeper, as we know. Ball-playing centre-back, as we know, which often allows him much greater creative liberties in that back line. As we know, he can loft that ball up to the front players with ease. He can get it there. You give him the ball, he will get it anywhere on the pitch you need it to go. Levi Colwill, as a ball-playing centre-back, will be a crucial part of this team, I do believe. Is it unwarranted displacing Badiashile? Possibly, because Badiashile has not looked bad in the games that he's played. He has not looked bad. Yeah, and Reece James, we know the idea is to have Reece James inverting. I do believe the experiment is being played with Malo Gusto and off the left at the minute, for the reason that Reece James is obviously going to miss the first 3 games of the season, and that is more crucial than ever in this game, because we obviously play Man City in the first game of the season, which Reece James is obviously going to miss. So there is a possibility Reece James doesn't start, as so we don't get caught out if we do play him in this game and then we don't have him for the Man City game. But I do believe we're going to use him as much as possible because we don't have him for the first 3 games of the season. So I believe he starts today. Onto the midfield, we have a midfield 3 of Romeo Lavia, Enzo Fernandez and Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. Now, as we saw in his 45-minute appearance against Club America, Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall instantly made an impact coming into this side. As we know, he is Maresca's guy. He is Maresca's golden boy, basically. He knows the system better than anybody in the squad because he spent an entire year learning it from Maresca in the championship, and he took to it like a duck to water. We saw his link up with the players on the pitch, with the likes of Romeo Lavia, with Malo Gusto, Raheem Sterling. Obviously, he got the assist for Mark Yu. He had about 3 chances to score, which he was quite unfortunate not to. So he has very much adapted the system quite well. Romeo Lavia, by the way, has been absolutely phenomenal this preseason. He has been an absolute revelation. Who knew we just had this absolutely world-class defensive midfielder just injured for an entire season? Like, imagine where our season would have been if we had Romeo Lavia available to us. When Enzo Fernandez went out with that hernia issue, or whether him or Moises Caicedo had come back from international duty late and weren't able to start, if we had Romeo Lavia, imagine the games we would have won. It would have been brilliant. He has shown himself to be an absolute destroyer guarding that back line, and his ability to go forward as well is even more impressive. Like, we always knew with the likes of, for example, I'll use João Palhinha as an example. He was an out-and-out number 6. He covered that back line and nothing much else. He got the ball back and then he gave it to his teammates. Romeo Lavia doesn't need to do that. He can win the ball back. He can take it all the way up to the goddamn goal line. We saw it in the Club America game. He ran out and he drew the foul, run into the goal line where he's going to cross the ball. His progressive play is fantastic. And not only is his progressive ball carrying well, his passing is brilliant. We saw it was the pass from deep to Raheem Sterling on the wing. It was absolutely sublime. I do not pity Enzo Maresca's choice when it's going to be deciding his midfield. With the options available to him, Romeo Lavia, Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, as well as the likes of Carney Chukwuemeka, Moises Caicedo, and of course, Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez obviously returned to the squad earlier this week, and he played the second half of the Club America game. He looked okay. I don't particularly believe he was being played in his best position. He was being played more as an 8 when he should be playing as a deep line playmaker. I hope that is where he is deployed today. I don't think it will be if Romeo Lavia is playing, because I believe Maresca is going to have him more as that defensive midfielder. However, I do believe Enzo Fernandez is going to start this game. We have been hearing all season how crucial he is to Maresca's system. So it only makes sense that now he has him available to him, he's going to give him as much opportunity as possible to get this system under his belt and make sure he knows what he's doing, so he can be that crucial cog in the Maresca system going into next season. Enzo Fernandez is, when on his day, arguably the best player at Chelsea. His ball carrying ability is fantastic. We know what his ball playing ability is like from deep, playing that ball up to the deep line up to the forward line. Oh my god. Regardless, I do believe he is going to have a big impact on this game and on this season. I have big hopes for Enzo Fernandez coming forward, because Graham Potter never really got the best out of him, neither did Frank Lampard in his short tenure, and Mauricio Pochettino, his style of football was not really built for someone like Fernandez. Enzo Maresca's football most certainly is. So if anyone is going to get the best out of Enzo Fernandez, it is going to be him. I do hope as well we do see Moises Caicedo. Obviously, he has been back from preseason since, I believe, the Wrexham game. I think that was when he got back. He got back that day. And we have not seen him yet. I don't particularly know what that is. I think it's because he picked up possibly a small injury in the Copa America playing for Ecuador, and he's been nursing that, similar to the likes of Nicholas Jackson, obviously, who had his ankle injury, and Axel Dizazi, who's been recovering from hernia surgery over the summer. So I do believe he's probably just preparing himself for when he can come on. So hopefully he will come on for an appearance in second half in this game, but we will wait to see. As we move on to the front line, which will consist of Noni Madueke, Raheem Sterling, and Mark Guiu. Now, Noni Madueke has started, I believe, every game of preseason so far, largely due to the fact that he is the most senior right winger that we have available to us. Obviously, Cole Palmer is not going to be joining up with us in the US. We're going to have to wait until we go back to the UK for him to join up the squad. So Noni Madueke is pretty much by de facto the starting choice. His only competition is Angelo, and judging by the fact that Angelo has not even started a game yet, that leads me to believe that Angelo is going to be sent out on loan next season, which is why we see Madueke being played so much. Mark Guiu has been fantastic in preseason. He has been brilliant. Obviously, he scored his first goal against Club America earlier this week, with obviously the headed goal from the assist off Dewsbury Hall. Pretty decent goal as well, to be fair. Pretty decent goal as well, to be fair. Obviously showing off a lot more of what he's capable of. We saw he obviously got a shot off, again, a Dewsbury Hall ball. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough power on the shot to put it anywhere dangerous enough for it to be a goal. It is going to be a very interesting game for Mark Guiu. It's going to be a very interesting season for Mark Guiu. Genuinely, he could be Chelsea's starting striker next season. I've been saying this for a while. I have really big hopes for Mark Guiu. I really have big hopes for Mark Guiu. Now, obviously, we are hearing all the rumours surrounding Slick Vic Victor Osimhen. So there is that to think about. I'm very mixed on the situation. On one hand, if Guiu is going to perform as well as this in the Premier League, then then we don't need Osimhen. On the other hand, I've been clamouring to sign Osimhen for the past 2 years now. I still think we need that elite killer number 9, and he is by far the best one available. So I still believe he's top 5 strikers on the planet right now. If we could get him and get Lukaku out of the club in the same swoop, it will be a fantastic bit of business. Do I think we will do it? I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out. Osimhen wants Chelsea. I do believe on some level we want him as well. It is just massively dependent on the deal. We've been hearing rumours that Napoli would accept, I think, £58 million plus Lukaku. We've heard the rumours of the loan with the obligations and options to buy. If the deal is right, then 100% I would say go and get Osimhen. If it's not, I'm more than comfortable starting with Mark Guiu. I think he could very well be a brilliant player for us going into next season. We have a lot of opportunity to see what that first game of the season is going to be like and gauge the players in this system and how it is going to perform on the first day of the season. They have not had a good preseason. They have not. They haven't won a single game in preseason. They lost their first two to Celtic and Milan, admittedly playing pretty weak teams. And then obviously I believe I think they lost on penalties to Barcelona. I could be wrong about that. As for a score prediction, I'll be optimistic. I'll say we'll win 2-1. That could come back to bite me in the arse, but I'm going to be confident. I say we're going to win this game. If we win this game, I think then we can genuinely start to get excited. Now, I know we were all like this last preseason under Pochettino. We didn't lose a single preseason game, and we looked brilliant throughout. And then we got massively derailed by playing a preseason game versus Dortmund. Thank you for nothing, Ed Sheeran, on that stupid goddamn pitch in Chicago. It was awful. And Nkunku missed pretty much most of the season and all of the key points of the season. So it just really screwed us over. Now, hopefully we won't have to do that again. What I'm praying for when we play Inter at Stamford Bridge a week before the season, that we don't get any injuries, please. So I will end this episode of the Chelsea Countdown now. As I said, this could be a very interesting game. Until then, I will end the countdown, and I have been the Crimson Wolf. I am the reddest Chelsea fan on the internet. So this has been enjoyable. Let's hope we get a good win. Up the Chelsea. Good luck with it.